Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome back to more Little Goody Two-Shoes. Continuing where you left off, because I don't want to get lost. Also, I noticed when I looked at this, everybody's got, like, bloody weapons. She's got a bloody knife. Even these pictures are spooky in the spooky zone. Anyway, now we need to escape. Why is everything so loud? Whoa. Loud noises. Okay, up the hand zone. Oh no, now we got a ghost. Rosemary. 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 Marine, wait. Well, at least the mood's nice, full, and red. It looks more like pink, actually, but yes.
What?
I'm back here. I'm losing my wits in this maze. It's good to be here, right? Is this where we want to go? Yeah. Serpent key. Meet the serpent in the woods. What was my other mission? Find the keys to the gate. I just did that, so I think that one's done. Now let's go in here. And never go back. It's very spiky up there. Maybe I should have saved before this. I can't move. I'm paralyzed. He speaks naught but the truth. Fortune runs in your blood, lass. It's you again, you wretched serpent. I can feel its warmth. How deeply you ache for this wish of yours, lass. Can you feel it? This venom of mine is reaching down to your fingertips. I'm burning. What are you doing to me, you wretch? This fear residing in you is merely a pebble in your path. Oh no. They got the spooky masks. It is your coronation you're conceiving, one tribute at a time, and thus... Lebkuchen, you ought to keep faith in his word. As it is he who's to honor your name, and you who is to reunite with him at the peak of the full moon. Reunite? I've never met him. Embrace it, Elise, says Lebkuchen. Your most vile lust for sovereignty, your thirst for promiscuous blasphemy. Lebkuchen, what are you saying?
Elise.
Pursue it, Elise. I ache to drink from your venom and bask in your glory. My glory? Your most vile thirst for extravagance, your devotion to opulence. I ache to dine on your flesh and bathe in your radiance. Let me go, you...
Elise.
Embosom it, Elise. Your fearless lust for all that shines gold.
Frozen Marine!
Rosemary, allow me, Elise, to endow you with all that is my being and my purpose. I ache to adore your name, your beauty. I yearn for the taste of your venom.
Wait!
Wait.
Elise.
Savor it, Elise.
Elise.
Revel in it, Elise.
Elise.
Indulge, Elise. By this deliverance of chastity and by your heredity, as I bear witness, so be it. The Needle Testament. We didn't have to bake this one into a cookie. We just get it. Item get acquired 1 Needle Testament. My whole body is aching. Rosemary, Lebkuchen, and Freya. They were all... It's the stream again, but when did I fall asleep? Well, but let's go to the banquet or whatever. Gonna see the castle. It does look bigger this time, I think. We're getting closer to it. Are you deaf? You ought to hurry now, or you'll miss it. Miss what? Hurry now, hurry now. Friday. Freitag. Guten Tag, Freitag. Guten Tag, good day. Tag mean day? I don't know. The Testament. Oh, it's in my pocket. To think last night really happened. I'd best go find Rosemary. Find Rosemary. Later today, we'll meet her by the creek. Is this picture different now? Okay, now it's a lady getting shot with the arrow. What in the Lord's name? First it was a lady, then it was a unicorn, and now it's a lady being shot with an arrow.
Good morning, Elise.
Good thing you're here, Elise. Keep letting this goat into the house. I brought Flock in because of the rain, you see. He's well behaved anyhow, aren't you, Flock?
I see.
It's raining?
Yes.
Oh, you hadn't noticed? I did think the coloring of the sunlight seemed a little different. Alright, well, it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry,
He went out last night.
Now that you
I
mention it.
did. I got the Second Testament, I suppose.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Oh, Elise, that's wonderful. You can prepare the gift now. I was starting to fret because you've been avoiding talking about it. There isn't much to talk about, Rosemary. Ever since we went there together, you've become a little... You said it yourself, didn't you? That I ought to do this myself, for my own sake, and...
Elise. You know...
Well, I didn't mean, you know...
Oh,
You're right, Elise. It truly does only concern you. Going to the woodland with you on Tuesday wasn't... You agree, don't you, Flock?
for goodness sake.
He's a goat, Rosemarine. Anyhow, it's best we move along before it gets late. Party talk. It's really pouring, isn't it? Oh, we'll be drenched in no time. It reminds me of when Granny and I would go on strolls in the rain. Why would you do such a thing? It's as Granny always used to say, Elise. We ought to embrace things as they are, in their purest state. I'm not sure that applies to the rain, Rosemary. Why? It applies to everything in life, Elise. If you say so. This week went by so quickly, didn't it? I can hardly believe it's almost the full moon, too. What of it, Rosemary? Your fate will be revealed tomorrow, Elise. Both are fates, in a way. You truly can't think of anything else, can you? Can you? For goodness sake. I can tell you're rather restless, Elise. Well, I haven't been having much rest lately, have I? I suppose, but... It's alright, Rosemary, we ought to embrace it, right? Embrace everything in its purest state. Yes. Say, Elise, why don't you go into your grandmother's room? There's nothing to see there, is all. I suppose, but... It's where she passed, too. I don't like to be reminded of it. I haven't gone back to my granny's resting place, either. So you do understand why I don't go in there. In a way, I do. In a way, huh? Granny Hall's room, huh? I won't be going in there ever again, I don't think. Oh, what am I doing talking to a goat? This is before the invention of umbrellas, oh no. 11... I don't know if I already saved on 10 in this episode, but sure. 11 is now this. Is this even the 11th episode? I don't know. I thought I heard something spooky for a second. Going back. What is that? I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. Now we'll go back to town and nothing bad will be happening. And then later we can meet Rosemary by the creek. Hopefully it's no longer raining. Where's that? This house. This one is still salvageable, I'd say. Several sunbeams peer in through the many holes in the roof, shedding light on its barren interior. Well, chickens. Where's everyone? I suppose folks wouldn't like standing in the rain.
For goodness sake.
Folks don't care about that in Kieferberg, Rosemary. Come now, let's see what's going on.
Yes.
Ah, yes. Party top. Okay, same stuff. Find out what happened. Oh no, something happened. Any particular spot? Okay, over in the Village Inn area. I'm gonna check in here first, though. Oh, you think I'm losing my wits, too? No such thing, Mrs. O'Dealy. What's wrong, Mrs. O'Dealy? This rain, lass, that's what's wrong. It's just a little rain. What do you know, lassie? There's no need to be so curt, Mrs. O'Dealy. Look how dark the sky is, Lipkuchin. We nearly need our lanterns, and in broad daylight. What do you think the cause is? Lack of faith, Elise, yours and all of Kieferberg's. None of this would have happened had we all prayed. Maybe best you two leave. I'll handle this. It's not that dark out. This is fine now, right? Yeah. See, there's some people standing around outside. Can't help but think it was ill will in Mrs. Mario. What was Mrs. Arion? Oh, Elise, it's awful. Freya's maypole got torn down because of the wind and the rain. You think someone did all that to the maypole, Mrs. Arion? That's what we all think, Elise. Are you certain it couldn't have been the rain? With all that's been going on, lass. It's such a shame she put so much time into it. Maybe we're making a greater deal out of it than we ought to. I'm certain that's it, Mrs. Marlin. Oh, how I would like to believe you, Elise. Out of the way, dog. What happened to the maypole? I mean, is it broken? I don't know, it's fine. We should trust them, Brunhild. Oh, but what are we to do if they don't come back, Dorothea? Who's not coming back, Mrs. Brunhild? Good grief, Elise, don't say that. The lads went out on patrol is all. I see. Can't say I'm not worried about this rain, but... they're grown men. They can fend for themselves, I'm sure. Oh, but what about what happened to your husband? Anyhow, Lisbeth, I'll be expecting you, Dorothea. Expecting Mrs. Dorothea? Class is going to be held at home today, Elise. We wouldn't want to have the children out in this rain, after all. Okay, I guess I'll see what's going on over here. Even I will lend Freya a hand with the maypole if need be, Bertha. These two lassies will too, I'd wager. Of course, Mr. Heinrich. This was ill will, Father.
Now that you mention
It could have been the rain, Mrs. Bertha. As it likely was, anyhow. What matters is that we lent Freya a hand, folks. Heinrich's right, we can't be without a maypole tomorrow. Oh, it truly has been one thing after another. We ought to gather for prayers. I would like all of Kieferberg to gather in church this afternoon. You're doing something at last. It's imperative we all are united and of the same mind. I'll make certain to spread the word, Father. Gathering all these frightened folks in the same place can't be a good thing. I suppose I can't miss it, though. Because it would be pretty suspicious. Okay, that was enough of dawn, and now it's to morning. Right. Yes. I should eat a pretzel. I think I ate them all already, though. Attend the church. That'll be later. Hopefully not the same time as Rosemarine. For now, I can go work somewhere. Where are the places to work? Yeah, I can either play Kiss the Rat or chop some more wood. I guess I'll probably Kiss the Rat now. Just because I haven't done that one in a while. That's good to hear, I suppose. You speak as though you'd rather have us find something, Lorelei. Find what, Mr. Heinrich? Ah, we were discussing last night's patrol is all. It was rather uneventful, tiring, if anything. I find it strange nobody's found anything since Tuesday is all. Isn't it better this way? Or it's like you want the witch to be real. Isn't it better this way, Miss Lorelei? That must mean there's no witch, wouldn't you say? Truly, I'll take this over finding horseshoes and whatnot. No offense, Eugene. None taken, Heinrich. I share the sentiment. I suppose you're right, lass. Suspicion go down. Hard at work, even with this awful rain. I could say the same about you, Mr. Wilhelm. I'm too old to fret over a little rain. You can't keep me from my morning walks. I suppose no one can, no. Folks are too preoccupied with this witch nonsense. Even a rainy day is knocking them sideways. At least the festival will bring them some peace of mind, won't it? Let us hope it does, lass, but you never know. What do you mean, Mr. Wilhelm? Folks are addicted to this foolery, that's what I mean. That's why I'm avoiding everyone until this afternoon. Must look after myself. Addicted, you say? I know you're over here.
Muffy!
It's you. It was you, Elise. What have I done now, Martha? You tore down the maypole. Have you completely lost your mind, Melly? So it wasn't you, Elise? Of course it wasn't me, you little... Eek. Wait, have you been telling folks it was me who... No, not yet. I came to you for some apple strudel.
Alright.
You're not telling anyone anything of the sort, you hear me? Watch me. I can run really fast, Elise. Okay, you get your apple strudel.
For goodness sake.
Alright. Is this what you want?
Oh boy.
You'll keep your mouth shut then. Now I'll say nothing. Not even a little squeak.
For goodness sake.
Oh, I'll be the one making you squeak if you dare utter a single word, Maggie. This better be the last time I have to bribe her. Since you said that, it probably is the last time. Say hi. I'm afraid Wilma simply won't listen, Ariane. Mrs. Wilma's being unreasonable again, I'd wager. Wilma's refusing to allow folks to work in her inn, even though we can't make ourselves useful in this rain. Wilma's always been like this, hasn't she? Or she's doing it on purpose to rile us up that hay. No, let's go with she's always been like this, hasn't she? Next thing we know, she'll be blaming Miss Wilma for it. I wouldn't say you're wrong, Elise. She's right, Wilma's always been difficult. I wouldn't put it past her to blame poor Wilma. Oh, to think we were so hopeful just this Sunday. The festival's tomorrow, Mrs. Ariane. It'll be fun. We can only hope, Elise. These apples are getting soggy. Oh, they're discolored and stuff. They're for animals anyway. What are you doing out here in the rain, Lipkuchi? I've been visiting folks' homes, is all. What for? Everyone's a little bit on edge because of the rain. Father Hans wanted me to help settle the townsfolk. Sent you to entertain this foolery, huh? It's alright, Elise. I'm feeling rather well rested. Even if that's the case, Lipkuchi. It's the festival tomorrow, Elise. What does the festival have to do with it? Why, it's only one more day. As long as you don't push it. I won't. Don't catch a cold standing out here, Rosemary. That's alright, Elise. I'm used to it. And it's so awfully nostalgic, too. Nostalgic, you say? I miss spending time in nature, you see. Granny and I would often dance about in the rain. You'd be catching colds quite often, I imagine. Oh, on the contrary. I may look fragile, but I'm tough. Stubborn, too. Elise, I wouldn't know what to do if you got sick, Rosemary. I can take care of myself, Elise. Oh, don't you start. I'm trying to look after you here. Like you always do, I know. Oh, for goodness sake. Save bird. So I don't accidentally choose something wrong and have to reload. Friday morning. Ill will is inevitable, as much as it saddens me to say. Folks are at their wits' end, that's what. I wouldn't say it's ill will. I understand, lass. Nobody wants to believe one of us could have done it. That's because it wasn't one of us. You're the one who's at the root of all this hearsay nonsense, old joking. Come now, Bernhard. Bernhard. Yes, let's keep it civil. Keep it civil with old joking around, or Mr. Bernhard's right, I'd say. Folks wouldn't have thought of the witch if it hadn't been for old joking. In fact, I'd wager folks would have forgotten about it by now if you'd let them. Must say I agree, lass. Many things could have been avoided. No, many things could have been avoided thanks to me. Be that as it may, we're to take this week as a learning experience. Which is why we ought to gather for a vigil. Gather everyone for prayer, that'll bring us together. I've let Lepkuchin know to make preparations. Suspicion go down. Well, that's a relief, Linda. What is, Mrs. Lisbeth? Oh, we were chatting about the festival, Elise. It's finally happening, but now we have this rain. We've had worse than a little rain, Mrs. Lisbeth. That's true, things are looking up despite everything. And Affel seems to be feeling better. I figured I would let them both out for a little while. Has he stopped talking about the witch, Lisbeth? I don't know, Linda. I think he's keeping something from me. My 2 remaining goats are still ill too, Mrs. Lisbeth. That festival will bring back some peace, Lisbeth. Father Hans has finally arranged for a doctor to drop by, at least. Oh, that's wonderful, Lisbeth. Anything south of here? Shiny. Berries. Why are there berries here? I mean, I'll take them, but... Can you believe the weather we're having, Elise? After all that trouble I had yesterday. Trouble with what, Mrs. Elma? Why, drawing water from the well, Elise. Only for it to overflow, and now this rain, too. For goodness sake, what have we done to deserve this? The festival's tomorrow, Mrs. Elma. What of it, Elise? The festival's the festival. It won't solve anything. Why, it might at least lift folks' spirits. Oh, lassie. Okay, let's kiss the rat in the rain. Kiss the rat, kiss the rat. Oh, for goodness sake. Kiss the rat, kiss the rat. Kiss the rat, kiss the rat. Not now, you brats, or fly. You two have problems, you know that? We'll make you kiss it, Elise, whether you like it or not. No, no, Rosemarine, I can't afford the food. Gross, I don't want this stinky rat anywhere near me. Kiss the rat. Yeah. The blue pass and the yellow pass. Let's do it. Or try to, anyway. Ah, too late. The earlier is better. I hit the wrong button. Round 2. Ah. Wrong button. Wrong button. Did we do alright? Oh my goodness. I guess we'll just accept that. I'm no good at Kiss the Rat. We'll never play it again. You pass. It's a tie. Oh, I'd rather lose than tie with Elise. Why, you... Here you go, ugly Elise. Oh, I've had it with both of you. I barely got any money for that. Okay, now for noon. Story event romantic date. Okay, attend the village council in the church. Does not pass time, so we'll do that first. Then we'll go hang out with Rosemary. What was that loud noise? Brethren, I've gathered you here today to address the recent goings-on. You're rather late, Father. We've had enough. Show some respect, Elma. No, she's right. We need answers, Father. I'm afraid we will not be getting many today, Guido. This is yet another plea for us to overlook this situation. Why don't we let Father Hans take the lead? He's had it all week, and look where it got us, Gustav. We're to gather here this evening for a vigil, brethren. Together, we are to appeal to the Lord's mercy and benevolence, as well as... All that'll do is put a lid on folks' troubles, Father. That's right, we need this witch to pay. Who would you suggest ought to pay, Lorelei? Where's this witch you folks speak of? Gustav's right, we don't know where to turn. Prayer will show us the path we ought to follow, brethren. Why, I've prayed all day, every day, and nothing's changed, Father. I fear for my poor Jacob, Father. Whoever is out there, they're taking our children, compromising our livelihoods. It's a decision folks want, Hans. We ought to search every lass in town for the witch's mark. We ought to do no such thing, you old geezer. That's no way to address your elders, Elise.
Is that so?
Is that so? Perhaps if my elders had completely lost their wits. Rest assured, Elise, no lass in Kieferberg will be searched, young or old. You fools still resist what must be done. Old Jokin is right, we must see this through.
This is ridiculous!
Are you going to do it then, Mr. Ludwig? If there's anyone who ought to do it, it's Lebkuchen.
I wonder...
Me, Mrs. Brunhild? Of course, lass, you're a woman of God. Women of God or not, Lebkuchen is to be searched as well.
Out with it!
None of you are touching her. Still, Elise, we ought to search someone. It may be for the best, Elise. Are you searching Freya too, then, and Mrs. Lisbeth? Lightning. No exceptions, lass. Truth is, we don't know anything about your cousin, Elise. Why don't we start with her? That's right, this is all started the day she got here. No, I haven't done anything.
Out with it!
Nobody's laying a finger on her. I saw her. What did Apfel just say? Oh yeah, I saw the witch in her form. I saw Elise's cousin. She's the witch. My beloved daughter, as she said, yeah. Elise saw her too. She talked to the witch. There it is, folks. There the witch is. Oh, Apfel. So it was true, Elise. You and your cousin are the ones who've been making our lives hell.
Out with it!
No. You're mistaken. We've done nothing of the sort. Confess, the lot of you. Confess to your sins, you wretched witches. Did you or did you not meet your cousin in the woods, Elise? Of course I didn't, or that's not... Oh no. I mean, the last time I was quite clear that I saw birds and well, maybe I should just be like... I don't know. Or just like, no. Well, I mean, it wasn't her, I'm not lying. It just looked like her. I was all by myself until I found him. Why, the lad says he saw you two, Elise.
Wait!
I didn't meet anyone in the woods, I swear. Oh my goodness, look. Ah, it's overflowing. It's the witch. The witch is here. Oh, we're all going to die. We must keep calm, folks. Keep calm. She was there. I saw her. She had yellow eyes. What do you have to say for yourself, lass? I was nowhere near the woods. I'd gone home by then. How are we to know such a thing, you witch? If the lad says he saw you, lass. Then no, I truly had gone home.
Out with it!
Why are you doing this, you little... She even your cousin, Elise? Truly, I've been thinking about it all week. I truly am her cousin. Not even you know your own cousin, Elise. Perhaps she's been a bad influence on you. How dare you insinuate, or she's anything but Mr. Bernhard.
This is ridiculous!
You folks are losing your minds. Bad influence or not, what matters is whether she's a witch. How do you explain your cousin's cookie get-up, Elise? All the things she said and done, too. I've never... What gives you the right, or she's just a lassie? She's just a lassie?
Oh, shut it!
Pinning it on my cousin isn't going to solve... Aphel said he saw you two in the woods, Elise. He's just a boy, or what does Aphel know about the woods? He's just a boy. Must be reasonable here.
That's enough!
I've heard enough. Search her. We ought to search the lass right now. Find the witch's mark. I will take no more of this nonsense.
That's enough!
This is enough. Freya gets to say stuff. Can't you see what you're doing to Kieferberg? Can't you see this witch nonsense is turning us against each other? The witch is clearly right here in Kieferberg, lass.
Oh, what can
Nobody
we
in
do?
Kieferberg could ever do such a thing. Well, joking. We're a family, all of Kieferberg, no exceptions. Though we all understand your feelings for him. You clearly don't, Father. Nobody does. Apfel believes he's seen the witch. Folks have been on edge all day. All of this is a consequence of how we've been facing this crisis. With fear, hostility, and hesitation. That's all very nice, Freya, but we need to do something.
I know.
Let's do the vigil then. Work on the preparations for the festival, together. Like the family we are, the family we've always been.
Atta girl!
Atta girl. Freya. Would you folks truly burn me at the stake? Or Elise, Lepkuchin, even Rosemarine? I expected more from my family, that's all I wanted to say. You've said more than enough, Freya. All of Kieferberg is to meet here tonight for prayer. As we ought to have done from the start. Move along now, folks. We're to focus on what we ought to do. Protect our home at all costs. All eyes on me. Divert the villagers' stomach. Yeah. That could have been worse. I didn't like that one bit. It's best I head back to work. Or, you know, go hang out with Rosemarine. Instead of working. When you put it like that, Tristan. Don't let the whole ordeal get to you, lass. What do you mean, Mr. Tristan? Folks lost their minds for a while, is all. All of Kieferberg is on edge. They don't mean what they say. Ah, I suppose you're right. You ought to come by later for the vigil, Elise. Both you and your cousin, you hear? Of course, Mr. Gustav. I won't miss it. Still, had it not been for Freya. You ought to be proud, Gustav. She's my pride and joy, my pride and joy. Ah, do you have a moment, Elise? Of course, Mrs. Arion. I must tell you, I'm ashamed about earlier. I couldn't bring myself to speak up for you. Mrs. Arion, you're coming to the vigil, aren't you? Of course. That's good, Elise. That will help show them you're committed. We can't allow any more of this nonsense. Is everything overflowing still? Polished, completely smooth. Yeah, it says it sits untouched. It is not untouched. It is overflowing. Okay, apparently heading back to work causes time to pass, but that's just the work. I don't know why it says it specifically, but yes. I think I heard some spooky noises again. Let me save, we'll talk to some people, and then we'll go hang out with Rose and Marie. It's a proper business opportunity, I tell you. What is, Mr. Wilhelm? Fetch me those tools, old Wilhelm. I told you I have the boys waiting for me with those stalls. There's no need to get embarrassed now. Embarrassed? The boy's hat, Elise. He made it himself. For goodness sake. You have talent in your hands, lad. I've seen my fair share of hats in all my years, and I tell you. I understand, old Wilhelm. The tools now, please. That's cool. Nothing over here. Eek, there she is. For goodness sake, Odelie. Maybe it's best I go. I'm not certain my presence is much appreciated here. No, I'd say Mrs. Odelie is the one who ought to take a moment to herself. I must agree, Odelie. You folks don't understand. We've made a grave mistake. So you believe on the witch, is it? Oh, I've had it with you, Mrs. Odelie. I mean, this one doesn't have an exclamation mark. You truly want to burn me at the stake, Mrs. Odelie? Oh, please don't say such a thing, Elise. Of course not, lass, but we can't keep on. Why don't you meet me in the confessional this evening, Mrs. Odelie? Before our vigil, that is. Father Hans is right. You need help, Odile. Oh, this will be the end of us. Suspicion go down. Just passing by. I got some money. I could buy pretzels. Which I no longer have to buy anything for Muffy, Maggie, whatever her name is. So I'm just gonna buy pretzels. I think they're the most efficient for both healing and food. I mean, just bread is better for just the food, but... I'm gonna buy a couple more pretzels. Some pretzels, I just bought some. Cat's sleeping in the rain. Let's save right over at that creek. So let's save over here. There she is. I'll spend some time with her. Ah, Elise, look what I found. A rock. Oh, but doesn't it look like flock? There's even a little tail, look. A little tail, you say? This one, too, doesn't it look like a chicken? There's the beak, see? So this is how you put that bracelet together, huh?
Yes.
Ah, yes, that's right. Lord knows why you're so drawn to useless junk. It stops being junk the moment you give it meaning, Elise. That bracelet means plenty to both of us, wouldn't you say?
Shush it, you.
Oh, shush it.
I...
Say, Rosemarine, how come I can't seem to find meaning in any of this? What do you mean, Elise? Kieferberg's so dear to everyone, yet I'm treated like a wretch. Working myself to the bone, putting up with their ill tempers. It all made more sense when Granny Hall was still with me. I think our Granny's passing has affected us in similar ways. We're nothing alike, Rosemarine, or not right now, Rosemarine. Well, that just sounds like I don't want to talk about it, but... It's what? All Granny Hall's passing meant for me was isolation. That too, Elise. I felt lonesome as well, but you see... That's when I started following my own path, and I'd say the same applies to me, huh? Doesn't it? Not in Kieferberg, Rosemarine. There's nothing for me here. I'm much more than what this town sees of me. Ah, look, Elise. There's something in the creek. Huh? It's gold. We just randomly found gold. You see, Elise, I don't think meaning is something you find. I think it's something you create. Take that nugget we just found, for example. What about it? Something so precious sitting in such a place, waiting to be seen. It reminds me of you, Elise. Rosemary. I'm not asking you to change your mind about Kieferberg, but chasing after what truly matters to you, that's where meaning is found. Meaning, huh? It's not the same for everyone, is it? You ought to focus on what truly matters most to you, Elise. That's...
I'm sorry.
There's something I'd like to tell you, Elise, and I'd say... that there's something you'd like to tell me, too. I suppose there might be, but... Come now, let's head back to town before you get any redder.
Rosemarine!
Rosemary. Hurry, Elise. Why, you... Rosemarine, strong bond. So is it Max? Are we done? Anyway, to the afternoon. Also, I'm about to start starving to death. Oh no. I gotta start eating lots of bread. I could eat one pretzel. Now I basically have no money. I mean, no food. I think I gotta buy a lot of bread soon. Okay, what are the two things I can do? Kiss the rat, don't do that. Or help with chickens. Even as much as bad as the chickens are for me, I think I'd be a better chance of doing that better than... Okay, now I can meet Rose and Marine at the festival. Since we've maxed out this stuff, I guess. All the hearts. I only hanged out with Lipkuchin that one time. Hung out, yes. Anyway, Primeldorf can't be our only option, Finn. Still, Guido, at this rate, any town's better than Kieferberg, the way I see it. Brunhild's been saying the same thing, lass. Kieferberg is our home, Finn. Isn't Mrs. Brunhild from Primeldorf? That being so, she still chose Kieferberg, too. Would you truly be happy to raise your children here, Guido? Without proper schooling or jobs? We can teach them our trade, Finn. You keep changing your mind about this, Guido. Have you noticed? So do you. Okay, that's... the kiss the rat. I'm not doing that. The chickens are up at the stables. I'm sorry, Mrs. Wilma. You were right about these folks, Elise. What are you talking about? Oh, Mrs. Wilma. We're so terribly sorry. Miss Wilma said we could, so... Haven't they apologized enough, Wilma? It's not apologies I want from them, Mrs. Marielle. It's respect. I'm not certain I follow. I can now say I understand how you felt this afternoon, Elise. Now that's a proper exaggeration, Mrs. Wilma. Truly, you're making too big a deal out of this. Freya. It's not worth the hassle, Elise. It's best you forget about it. Okay, don't know what they're arguing about. Also, this is now flooding extreme again. Like, my goodness. Do-do-do. Oh, Elise. What's wrong, Mrs. Lisbeth? Must do it sooner rather than later, Lisbeth. Still, Marlene. You see, Lisbeth was telling me about this afternoon. Oh, Elise, I should have said something on your behalf, but instead I... That's alright, Mrs. Lisbeth. I understand this hasn't been easy for you. No, Elise, you ought to let her apologize. But... had it not been for Freya, I too would have believed them, Elise. Mrs. Lisbeth. Make certain you come to tonight's vigil, Elise, and bring your cousin along, too. Of course, Mrs. Marley. I understand, Father. You too, Elise, ought to make certain your cousin joins us. The vigil, you mean. It's important that she's present tonight. She'll be there, Father. Folks need as much reassurance as we can give them, is all. Aren't you pushing yourself, Lipkuchin? I'll be heading home in a moment, it's alright. About this afternoon's events, Elise. There's nothing left to say about that, is there? Folks are regretful, lass. I understand, Father. Just hanging out over here. You seem tired, Elise. It'd be more surprising if I wasn't, don't you think? I'll prepare something hearty for supper, Elise. Since it's your last. For goodness sake. There's no need to put it that way, Rosemary. But... you head back home first thing after sunset, alright? Of course. And to make certain you find Flock, too. Can't help but worry with all this rain. Oh, at least you do care for Flock. Shush, Rosemary. This rain won't let up, will it? We can only hope it's not raining tomorrow, too. Even if it is, Elise, we'd best make the most of it. Make the most of the rain, you say? Figuratively, lad. Where do you get all that cheer from, Mr. Gustav? Ought to wonder, huh? What have we to gain from brooding all day? Kieferberg needs some good cheer now more than ever, folks. No two ways about it, ought to agree. I'm gonna run down these stairs. Apparently there's a quest to do here. Also shiny. More berries. Another kitty card. Okay. What do you got? Running about in the rain, are you? Aren't you as well, Mr. Bernhard? I quite enjoy this view is all, even with the rain. Have you seen old Wilhelm by any chance? Do you need anything, Mr. Bernhard? You can keep a secret, I'd wager. We're all preparing a present for Eugene, you see. For Mr. Eugene. We wouldn't want to let him go without some token of appreciation is all. Old Wilhelm's been working on it. Won't you ask him about it? I can do that, Mr. Bernhard. Maybe I'll get something worth money to sell from doing this. Now, was he in the main area? He was earlier today, but I don't know if he's still anywhere near here. We'll go into the alleys. I remember seeing him in there once. He wasn't there. Maybe he's up here somewhere. There are some spooky noises. Nothing to worry about, though. Just not hanging out here. Ought to put it behind us, Bertha. Still wittering on about earlier, I presume. Nothing of the sort, at least. It's Wilma. Miss Wilma? Wilma's given her an earful, Elise. Right in front of everyone, too. All because she let Linda and Freya keep the flowers in the shack. For goodness sake. That Wilma. One can't help but feel for Wilma, that poor lass. Coming all the way from Primmeldorf to lend a hand. For what? Truly. I see. I don't know where the guy is. Nobody's hanging out over here. Oh wait, maybe he was at the front of town? Past the extremely overflowing fountain. Yeah, maybe I saw him over here somewhere. I can't remember. Let's kiss the rat. I'm not doing that. Okay, where is this guy I was looking for? Does anybody know where he is? Kieferberg's dying faster than I thought. Trying to think. It's not there. Oh, did I check inside the church since last time? Probably not. Maybe he's in here. It's quite dark in here. There he is. Mr. Bernhard's looking for you, Mr. Wilhelm. About Eugene, I'd wager. Tell him I'll have it ready by tomorrow, at least. What are you giving him, Mr. Wilhelm? Certain you can keep the secret? Of course. Eugene said he wanted a new pocket knife, you see. I've been working on it since Tuesday. It's taken a lot of work. Nice. Perhaps this vigil will bring Kieferberg together. It will, Mrs. MacTild, you'll see. That's rich coming from you, Mrs. Elma. You were so adamantly against it earlier, too. It's important to know when to forgive, Elise. Can't say I was in the right. It's been rather unfair, or you don't understand, do you? For a while now, Mrs. Elma, and I don't think that's right. I know, Elise. Isn't this the proper time to make amends? I suppose it's good that we do it before the festival. Truly, Elise, I've been too firm with you for no good reason. Thank you, Mrs. Elma. All's well that ends well, wouldn't you say? Suspicion go down. Let's return to the other guy again. Passing that quest. Then I might have enough time to go do the chickens. And hopefully a bunch of plot doesn't immediately happen. Then I can just save and we'll leave whatever happens next for next time. So, what did he say? He says he'll have it ready by tomorrow, Mr. Bernhardt. Good, good. Here you go, Elise, thank you. Hearty soup, that's good, I need that. You didn't have to, Mr. Bernhardt. We didn't have to be that harsh on you earlier either, yet here we are. I suppose. Can I say anything more? Folks are feeling guilty about it, but it's a little too late for that, isn't it? Let me check. We have... This will heal us, just like it's like a mega pretzel. Make sure to buy lots of bread. But first we need to go work. I need to find the chicken. Apparently up in the stables somewhere. Was it on this side? Yeah, that's why I didn't see her. I won't bite you, Mrs. O'Dealy. Oh, Elise, what am I to do? I've been scared witless all week. Everyone can tell, Mrs. O'Dealy. Oh, will you please fetch me some eggs, lass? Alright. If that's what you need, Mrs. O'Dealy. No, no rosemarine, it's too much food. We must defeat the feathered rats. My nemesis, the chicken minigame. Move and pick egg. I'm so slow. Too afraid to do it now, unless they just moved. Okay. Too afraid. Okay. Let's just ignore the bottom row. Now, was that better or worse than my other times? Sounded triumphant. It was an A rank. Yay. I defeated the chickens. How much money am I gonna get for this? Enough to not starve. You win. You did well, lass. You can have this for your trouble. Okay, that's decent enough. Thank you, Mrs. O'Dealy. I suppose we judge you too harshly. Now on to dusk. Meet Lev Kuchin at the bakery. Have dinner with Rosemary. Wasn't there supposed to be a vigil, or is that later? I don't know, but let's head. Wait, is that a golden girl? I just happened to be right in front of one. One more to join our entourage, I see. Huh? Oh, it's marvelous. You'll surely agree. The banquets, the spectacles, the prestige. What are you talking about? You'll see it when you get there. Oh, he's given me all that I could ever want. Which was? Why, luxury, wealth, opulence. Oh, I can't wait to have you and your inamorata with us. My what? The one you're enamored with. Oh, so am I gonna go insane? I don't think I'm insane yet. It's fine. It's very lightning stormy now, though. Through the alleyways? Why am I in the bushes? On your way home, lass? Wouldn't it be best if we walked you home, Elise? It's no trouble, lass. There's no need to fret, Mr. Gustav. I'll be alright. If you say so, Elise. The sooner you go, the better. I'll see you in church, then. I'll be there, Freya. We'd best get to preparing supper, too, Freya. I ought to have a word with Father Hans before this vigil. Blinding light. Well, lots of lightning. Very, very frightening. Save. I guess I'll talk to you again real quick. I just did a work for you. Oh, I must hurry. Isn't the vigil in a couple hours, Mrs. O'Dealy? Not to the vigil, lass. To the confessional. I must make certain I get my peace of mind, or else. Or else. Why, you truly don't understand anything, Elise. Your name may have been cleared earlier, but that witch is still wandering about, whoever it may be. Ah, I see. Oh, where's Father Hans? If I don't do my nightly prayers, even I might fall prey to that thing. Okay. And with that, happy note. Everyone, if you enjoyed this, then liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing are all appreciated. The most important thing, though, that thou must absolutely do, is have a nice day. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.